The downward facing dog, perhaps the most famous of all of the yoga poses, like an upside down V. We're going to go through and break it down. I'm going to show you what sort of common mistakes people make and how you can correct those in your own practice. Now, just to say, we're not correcting them to like perfect the poses. We are correcting them in order so they feel good and so that they give you the most benefit that they possibly can in your body and in your mind and your spirit. So down dog. Let me show you what it looks like an upside down V. And a way of gauging the length of your down dog is, can you go from down dog through into plank without having to adjust your plank? So that helps you give you a gauge of how far your hands and your feet generally are apart. Okay, so can you see it's an upside down V? And there's a nice straightness from my hands to my hips and from my hips to my heels. Now, what normally happens when people are learning yoga is that you go somewhere between a plank and a down dog, and there is a bit of a bend in the shoulders. So let me show you. So often when people are learning yoga, they're kind of like this. So can you see that there is a bend here? And that means that they're more in their arms and less in their legs. So what we teach to help you get the back that's straight is bend the knees, lift the hips, and melt your heart towards your thighs, pushing the base of your thumb and index fingers into the ground. Base of the thumb and index finger, pushing them down, forward, armpits wrapping in. So can you see now I've gone from here, lifting the hips, bending the knees, melting my heart. And now I can begin to straighten my legs towards the earth, my heels towards the earth. It doesn't matter if your heels don't touch the ground, as long as they're yearning down and long. So you get this double feeling of the hands pushing down and forward, and the heels pulling back and long. And that gives you the stretch, lifting the hips. Now notice my belly, there's a bit of a scoop there. You're drawing your belly button in towards your spine, it's active. Brilliant, so this is your down dog. So again, notice if you're like this, you might take a photo of yourself and look in the mirror. If you're stuck here, use your thighs more. You can either bend your knees, lift your hips, or you can just simply press your thighs up and back. And that will get you out of your shoulders, out of your hands, and more into your legs. About 60 to 70% of the effort is actually in the thighs, pulling up and back. So I want you to imagine that your yoga teacher is behind you, your hips, and is pulling your hips back. And that will help you get that lovely, long, straight line of your hands to your hips, and then pulling back from your hips to your heels. So I hope that helped. One of the most wonderful poses. And after a while, it even becomes a pose of resting between poses. But take your time. It all comes. Take care. Bye-bye.